Good morning, second graders. Today is Friday, April 17th. You have almost made it through the first 3 weeks of distance learning. Great job. And today we're going to do something a little different in reading. I hope you all enjoyed our Magic Treehouse book, but today our matrix says something different now that our Magic Treehouse book is done. Our matrix for reading today says, read the Scholastic News magazine. One of these eggs is fake. So today, I'm going to show you how to access Scholastic News online. And that way you can read the Scholastic News just like we do at school. You'll be able to interact with the games and the vocabulary and watch the videos. And I'll show you how to access that right now. So this sheet tells you how to log on. And what you do first is you do a Google search and you search Scholastic News 2. Because we're second grade. So if you want, you can pause the video right now in order to spell it correctly or write it down, whatever you need to do to be able to do this. And once you log on to Scholastic News 2, you'll have to click Login in the upper right-hand corner, and then I am a student. And then it'll ask for a classroom password code. And I sent that to your parents on Remind. So make sure that you ask them for that code. And then that way you can log in to Scholastic News and get started. Okay, so I actually have another iPad here that I can show you how to do it. So this is your Google search. And you're just going to click Scholastic News. You're going to type that in. And I did that, so it's right there. Okay. And then at the top, you're going to click Scholastic News again. Did it click? Yep. All right. And then you can see all of these different months worth of Scholastic News come up. Now, it should say login in the upper right-hand corner. I think because I've already done it, it's letting me do it. So it didn't ask me for that. And then you're going to click I am a student. And then you're going to type in the password. Okay, and then you're going to see that they all come up in different months. So here's May and June, April, and March. So you're going to find March, and you're going to click on the cover, just like is in your folder. So you're going to click on one of these eggs is fake, and then it comes up like this. Okay, it looks like this with the choices. And so you're going to look right here, and underneath it says, listen and read. So you're going to click the blue button, listen and read. And then it says on level or easier level. And I always pick on level. And that way when it reads it to you like normal. And this is what it looks like, exactly what we do at school on the smartboard. So here it came up, and here's where you can listen to the video, or there's the dance break, or the vocabulary, or the games. Now at school, we always listen to the news magazine first, and then we watch the video at the end. We always do the vocabulary first, then we read it, and then we watch the video. But you can do it in any order you want, because you're going to get to access it like this, so you can do it however you want. There's just one final step before it reads it to you. You have to go across the top, and it says read aloud, and it's this yellow button right here. So when you click on that, then that will read it out loud to you. And then you'll have to turn the page too. You can't see it right here. Whoops, it's going to read it to you. I don't want that. So I'm going to click out. But there's an arrow that you can click on to turn the page. Okay? So hopefully that will allow you to read this like we do at school. Okay? And this is one more time I'll show you this. And you can pause it and write that down. Okay? All right. Now, before we do that, I would like to talk to you about the Scholastic News, okay? Looks like this. Now, we have talked about the Scholastic News as being a nonfiction text. And there's nonfiction text features that we've also talked about in school. And those text features help us to better understand what we're reading. So you can see on the cover that this is the title. One of these eggs is fake. So that's the title of our magazine. Okay, and then when you open it up, this blue letters at the top, those are called a headline, or they can also be called a heading. Okay, and so it's called an excellent invention. So that's your heading of your article, and that's what the whole thing is going to be about. Okay, then you can see smaller blue title-like things, and those are called subheadings. And those subheadings let you know what that paragraph is going to be about. So this chunk of words right here is going to be about the poacher problem. This chunk is going to be about fake eggs. This chunk is going to be about stopping poachers. So those subheadings organize your reading into little chunks so that you can understand what that section will be about. And then don't forget the picture captions. The picture captions help you know what the pictures are about. They tell about the pictures. And then over here on this side is a sidebar. It's called a sidebar. And this one is how to make a fake egg. So it's going to give you steps on how to make a fake egg. And that's called a sidebar because that gives you just extra information that's not necessarily in the text that you've read already. Okay? Good readers use these text features to help them better understand what they read. So I hope you use those as you're reading today. Then don't forget to do the back. It's the life of a sea turtle. And it's all about the life cycle of a sea turtle. So go ahead and read those. This one doesn't read it to you on the video, but you can look at it on the video. So you'll have to read it to yourself. But don't forget to read each of those pieces of the life cycle before you answer the questions. And then if you don't know the answers to the questions, go back up in your life cycle and find those. Prove your answers. That's what we do every week when we do Scholastic News, isn't it? Okay? All right, so go ahead and read the story online if you'd like. If you don't want to read it online, that's okay. You can read it to yourself, or you can read it with a parent if you don't want to read it online. Either way, as long as you get that done for your must-dos. And then your assignment for your Scholastic News is it says, choose one or both sides of the included activity sheet to complete after reading. Okay, and so inside your Scholastic News, there was a sheet tucked in it. And so you can either choose to do this side where you read it and fill in the circles, or you can do this side where you read it and you answer the questions, or you can do both sides. Either way. So that will complete your must-dos for reading for today. All right, now we are ready for math. And so if you need to pause the video to go get your math and a pencil, that would be great to do that right now. And for math today on your must-dos, it says do the independent practice pages, numbers 4 through 11, on page 543 and 544 in your math packet. Okay? And so that looks like this. Okay, and this is the independent practice page where yesterday we started the guided practice page. So you need to find page 543 in your math packet. Okay? Now, before we get going on this sheet, I thought I would just show you the answers from yesterday. So that was yesterday's guided practice. What activity is liked the least, and that was inline skating. Which two activities have, I can't read backwards here, which have the same number of votes, bike riding and playing baseball. And how many people liked to swim and play baseball in all? So we did 5 liked to swim, 3 liked to play baseball, equals 8 altogether. Okay, so if you got those answers, you did it exactly right. Good work. All right, today, here is your independent practice page, and it looks like it's a lot, but really it's not that hard. Today you have to use data from the graph to answer the questions. And your picture graph is how we get to school. So we ride a bus, we walk, we bike, or we take a car. And remember to look at the key at the bottom. It says each picture equals 1 vote. So your job for math today is to go ahead and answer all of these questions on this side. And on the back, there's another picture graph, and you're going to use that picture graph about your favorite pizza toppings to answer this side. Okay, and don't forget to write the answer to your right math as well. Now, on this side, boys and girls, number 8 says, write a question that can be answered using the data in the picture graph. We have spent some time with our picture graph unit and our tally chart unit talking about how many more or how many fewer. So we were asking comparison questions. Okay, so the question that you need to write for number 8 needs to be a comparison question. So you need to ask either how many more of something or how many fewer of something. Okay, so if you look up here, one of your questions for an example could be, how many more students walk to school than take the bus? Okay, and that could be one of your questions. Or how many fewer students ride their bike than walk to school? So come up with a question that asks how many more or how many fewer. You need to start with how many, either more or fewer. And don't forget your question mark at the end of your sentence. And then for number 9, you have to write a number sentence that you can use to answer the question you asked in number 8. So if you're asking a comparison question, remember how many more or how many fewer, that means you need to subtract. So for example, if your question was, how many more people walked to school than ride the bus, you're going to have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people walked minus 2 people rode the bus. So 5 minus 2 equals, and then write your answer for how many more people walked than rode the bus. Now, you can use that example if you'd like, but I bet you can come up with your own example so that you don't just copy Mrs. Lunning, because I know how smart you all are. So try to come up with a different how many more or how many fewer question if you can. But don't forget to write your equation. Remember, it has to subtract with the big number first. All right, and on the back, here's your pizza topping picture chart. Okay, so you just have to answer that question. And then your brain builder, it's not really hard for a brain builder question. The reason it's a brain builder is because they asked 2 questions in there. Okay, so it's really not that hard. I know you can do it. All right, good luck, have fun, and guess what? Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday. Goodbye, 2nd grade.